Welcome back, True Seekers. As requested, doing a live broadcast for Game 7 of the NLCS, the Dodgers at the Brewers. Let me pull up the page we want to be looking at here. Actually, before I jump into that, let me make sure that this is functioning and you guys are able to get in the chat. Again, in case you're new here, when this is going live, what you want to do is click the play button, get this going, and then come down and click the YouTube. That'll put you in this window just like so. And you can chat like Seamus and Jim 4A. Is it 4A or 4? And JR Smooth. How do I pronounce it? 4A or 4? All right, we gotta bring our A game here. Hello, Wall. All right, I'm gonna get 4, like 4 on a golf course. Got it. Sports Gematria is bringing the claps. All right, so here's what I've already got. It's what we were talking about last night. Again, it's Game 7. It's on this day, leaving 72 days left in the year. You know what? Let's get even more thorough than we normally get. Last night, the Brewers won it 7-2, and now Game 7's on the day, leaving 72 days left in the year. The Dodgers are a slight favorite. Notice throughout the series, they keep favoring the Dodgers. But something we could do is just like look even at what the runs are for the series. Because oftentimes after we look at a complete series, we see what the riddles are in numbers. So we got a 7-2 game. We got a 7-2. We got a 5-2. We got a 2-1. See if we can put this all together here. Got a 4-0. This was on the anniversary of Kirk Gibson hitting the home run. This surprised me right here. I thought they would have some tribute to history. At a 4-3. Brewers have not been beat in Milwaukee yet. They have not lost in Milwaukee. If they did lose, they'd become 1-3 in Milwaukee, which is a bit like 13 like LA. So let's just put up these scores here and look at them and add up some run totals and see if we can get anything out of this, because we got to look for all the clues we can here tonight. Actually, before we come to that, let's just look at the basics, what we normally look at. So today's date has 68 numerology. It's also got 41 and 14. LA has gematria of 14 and 41 in our base ciphers. So that's a big deal. The Brewers have number 45 on the mound, our big major league number, the man with the JC initials, 10 plus 3, 13. When you write out 1345 like Brewers, like major league. We also got 48 date numerology, 30. Remember, the 113th World Series last year was the Dodgers were in it. 113 is the 30th prime. Something else I would think about is we saw the Dodgers and we saw the Astros eliminate the native teams in the Christopher Columbus ritual. The Astros even won 11-3. If there's perfect parallels and symmetry going on between all these rituals, that might make us believe that the Dodgers are going to be eliminated. But at the same time, the other thing I would think about is do you remember how James Harden had the back-to-back 51-point games, 51 days after the Astros won the World Series 5-1, Houston Astros equals 51. And it was synced up with the SpaceX rocket launch, rockets. And that rocket launch was out of the LA area. So Houston Astros obviously aren't going to back-to-back World Series, but could it be a more layered riddle where it means LA is going to end up in back-to-back World Series? These are all things we have to think about because these are all pieces of the puzzle sitting on the table right now. And these are the things that are boggling my mind. So it's also, again, the 20th day of the month. So we got to look at the day of the month it is. Today's the 293rd day of the year, which is the 62nd prime number. Just so you can see that. 293 is the 62nd prime. We're noticing how that number looked big in college football today. Again, leaving 72 days remaining. The Brewers just won 7-2 last night. For our starting pitchers, we got Walker Buehler on the mound, who hasn't been so impressive in the postseason, and we got Jules, who's been lights out. He hasn't even given up an earned run. But again, these kind of things can totally throw you off. Remember how Jules, he had his worst career performance in LA, and then he pitched lights out there in the playoffs. So the past doesn't always foretell the future, as we know. Sometimes it's the thing that'll throw you off. But this game, it comes 84 days after Walker Buehler's birthday or on his 85th day of his age. Remember, Boston's awaiting in the World Series right now. Boston's 85, Massachusetts 84. Today's 281 days to his upcoming birthday. That's the 60th prime, and his name Walker Buehler equals 60. For the Brewers pitcher, this game is 286 days, or a span of 287 after his birthday. That's also 41 weeks, and it goes with our 41 date numerology, where 41 is the 13th prime. LA has the gematria of 41 and 13, but then again, his initials, JC, have that 1-3 thing going. If the Brewers lose, they're going to be 1-3 at home against LA in the series in the most important game. And the thing I want you to consider about baseball is they are starving for ratings. You know, their postseason games can't even compete with, you know, regular season NFL, MLB. The series that pulls the much bigger rating is the Los Angeles Dodgers than Milwaukee. But that doesn't mean it'll be that way, because this is just as much about ritual too. But in terms of the fact that the MLB is starved for ratings and fans, you got to keep that in mind. This game is 142 days after Dave Roberts' birthday, or a span of 143 days. Dave Roberts can get his 22nd postseason win. Now, this is a big one to me because 22 is the Master Builder number. And when you write out Master Builder, it sums to 57 and 147, just like World Series. He would advance to the World Series with his 22nd postseason win. He's 21 and 14. That means this is going to be his 36th game. Dodgers equals 36 forwards and backwards in our base ciphers. And Brewers has the 36th thing going on too. Brewers also has that 99 thing in light of these overlaps with the NFL and the MLB and Tom Brady cheering for a Boston Brewers World Series. We talked about that. For Craig Counsell, this game comes 60 days after his birthday or on his 61st day of his age. 61 is the 18th prime. Baseball equals 18. We're in 2018. Craig Counsell can become 6-3 or 5-4 in the postseason. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys all know about baseball and 54. 54 and 2 of the base ciphers, 54 outs in a complete game. Major League, though, has that gematria of 63. Major League. To me, the more important number there is 54. He'll be 5-4 with a loss. The Dodgers could pick up their 99th win of the season over the Brewers. Brewers 99, 13-99. That would advance them to the World Series to face the Red Sox. Let's look at these runs here. Let's look at these runs for the series and add them up and just see if we see any type of riddle, because this could be a big tell. We've used this before. LA scored 2. They scored 5 more. That's 7. 2 more. That's 9. Shutout. Still at 9. 4 more. That's 13. 5 more. That's 18. So LA has 18 runs in the series. I'm just going to count one more time. I always count everything twice to be sure. 2, 7, 9, 13, 18. Okay, I'm happy. Brewers, 7, 9, 10, 14, 17, 23. So Milwaukee's got 23. So they got 41 combined. That's interesting. 41 combined runs, 13th prime. Again, LA's 41-13. Here we are on a date with 41 numerology. We can theorize numbers that would be important. You know, If they want to stick with this 13 ritual, how about 45 combined runs on the series? 13 equals 45. Major League 45. We've seen all sorts of tributes to that in the playoffs. We got number 45 on the mound for the Brewers. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if the final score of this game is 1-3. 1-3. Very realistic potential score. But there's other things out here that are definitely possible. Come back to our date numerology. 48 be a higher scoring game, be 7 runs, but it's been a pretty high scoring series. I mean, 11 runs here, 7 here, 4 here, 3 here, 7 here, 9. I mean, more games have been higher than not. But, you know, Buehler's had some magical games in his career. If he comes and pitches lights out, if I had to pick a score today to bet on a score, I'd bet on 1-3. And I might just bet if I was gonna take a bet on a score, I might bet 1-3 for both teams just to cover myself. But let me go out to the chat, see if what else we actually before I go to the chat, let's do this too. Let's look at the star players. Christian Yelich. I'd like to see what he's doing in the postseason. I want to see his 2018 post. I think he's having a pretty mediocre postseason so far after having a dynamite season. Can I get this? Can I get his postseason batting? Why am I not seeing postseason? All right, postseason batting. So for the series at 32 at bats, his next is going to be his 33rd. I'll remember that. He's going to get his 45th at bat in this game. Could be a memorable one. I guess he's not so terrible. 6 hits and 32 at bats. It's not very good. It's what is that? I guess that's below 200. I guess that's pretty terrible, actually. Yeah, 188. Wow. Let's see how many days it is to his birthday. His birthday is I want to check him and Machado. They got Machado by the numbers there in LA, 13 days from his birthday. The guy with the MM13 initials. December 5th. Okay, so it's 46 days to Yelich's birthday or a span of 47 days. And his name's Christian, isn't it? Christian equals 47. So very interesting alignment with his birthday there. Span of 47 days. Christian Yelich. Christian 47. Let's check out Manny Machado, July 6th. He's born on the 187th day of the year. Oh, it's 106 days after Machado's birthday, or a span of 107 days. 3 months and 14 days, too, like pi, 3.14. Big geometry number. We know that Major League and geometry have a lot in common. Remember, 108 double stitches on a baseball. Major League 108.45 in our most pure ciphers, just like geometry. So Manny Machado's got some serious geometry alignment. And in light of 13 being a big number on the game, don't forget that 13's got this 45 thing going. The Dodgers can pick up their 99th win of the season over the Brewers. All right, I'm going to go out to the chat and see what you guys got here. I'm looking at the chat now. It looks like you guys, or I guess I can go through all this. Tony, tell it like it is. Pick the Brewers, huh? Tony is pretty good at picking the wrong team. He's nearly perfect at that. Sometimes he gets it right. Tyler Clayton thinks it's all lining up for the Brew Crew. That Ryu, he's not a good pressure pitcher. I didn't think that was a good sign for the Dodgers, him being on the mound. If you guys didn't know about the Astros and Sox, they won it on the manager's birthday. Birthday has gematria 57, like World Series. And that 4-1 thing reminded me of what we've been talking about with a potential World Series for the Red Sox and a Super Bowl for the Patriots. Also, you guys, the other thing that we have to think about, like we've been doing this for a number of years now, the powers that shouldn't be, they might have caught on to our tricks because the way they lined up that Astros win over the Athletics and just how tight that riddle was, I mean, it made me bite hard on the Astros. I thought that was definitely the narrative, how perfect it all was. And obviously it wasn't. And I'm almost wondering if they put that out there just to like give us some bait, like we're a fish and we took the big bait and now we're filleted, or at least I am. But that narrative was so tight. Those are the type of narratives that usually lead to gold. So I'm a little bit tripped out by that Astros narrative. The 11-4 win, 57 days before the World Series over the Athletics, one of 3 teams to win back-to-back. And in light of how the Astros could have got their 114th win in the World Series. But again, some of these alignments can be perfect and look crystal clear, and then they're not what we thought they were. So I see some people, Dodgers, some people think it's the Brewers. That's the one thing, Tyler. We saw all of those riddles early in the year with Seattle. That's what I was talking about. I didn't have a lot of time to follow baseball, but I kept seeing the tributes with Seattle and this year, and I kept going, God, what is it about Seattle? I don't think Seattle's this year. I think next year Seattle has a chance, but not this year. But then we realized that the Brewers were from Seattle originally. So that's the one thing that has me going for the Brewers. The fact that we saw all of those Seattle tributes early in the year. And the first year of the Brewers team was in Seattle. And of course, they were called the Seattle Pilots, which equals, oh, hey, in light of Yelich in the 47 thing, remember, Seattle is on the 47th parallel, and the original Brewers team was the Seattle Pilots, which equal 47 in our most pure cipher. So that is something there. That is something there. Good tip to check the Red Sox, to check the team record versus Red Sox. Let's do that. I'm just checking all the comments before I go do it. Make sure there's anything else. Did I say the wrong thing about Chacin's birthday? Thought I had the right things up here. Or maybe you're talking to somebody in the chat. For Chacin, I got 286 days, or a span of 287. You must be talking to somebody in the chat. Okay, let's look at the Red Sox records versus these two teams. I don't know why I didn't think of this myself, but thank God Supermod's here to help us out. Red Sox head-to-head record. This could be a big one. All right, we want the Boston Red Sox. Okay, let's look. So we need the Milwaukee Brewers. So the Red Sox are 219 and 190 against the Brewers. That's the that's 409 games, which is the 80th prime number. Okay. And the Los Angeles Dodgers. They played each other 15 times. They're 8-7 against the Dodgers. I'm just thinking about it. We know that 88 is a big old number with this season. Dave Roberts. Let's measure from Dave Roberts' birthday to October 23rd, because the World Series starts October 23rd, and he used to play with the Red Sox. Let's see what that would be. Birthday was May 31st. 145. That's a number that connects to numerology. Numerology is 145. I guess we can also just look at Craig Counsell too, just to be even. But Dave Roberts has the history with the Red Sox. August 21st. He's got the great solar eclipse. So Craig Counsell, remember, Craig Counsell can become 6-3 in the postseason. Craig Counsell can become 6-3 in the World Series is 63 days after his birthday. Now that's interesting because Major League is 63. We should add that to our notes here. That is an important observation. Tom Brady said he was cheering for a Red Sox Brewers World Series. That's 81 days after the World Series starts 81 days after Tom Brady's birthday or on his 82nd day. That's interesting because New England Patriots has the gematria of 82. So there's things we can think about, clues that are hanging out there. But wouldn't it be something if we got a LA Dodgers and Boston World Series that was perfectly synced up with LA Rams and New England Patriots Super Bowl? What would kill me is people still wouldn't get it. Also, here's something I meant to mention earlier. Dodgers could advance to their 20th World Series appearance on the 20th of the month. The Dodgers have been in 19 World Series today. They go to number 20 on the 20th of the month. That's a hard thing to overlook. That has a nice little numerological bend to it. Let's take it back out to the chat and see what you guys are seeing. Red Sox get their 223rd win against the Brewers by winning the World Series. That's a good point. That's a good observation. Come back to those stats and look at it again. Okay. And you know what? If there was a Dodgers and Brewers, or not, I mean, Dodgers and Red Sox World Series, and it went to Game 7, it would be 22 games played between these teams, which is our master builder number. Again, 22 is the master builder number in numerology. Master builder in our most pure ciphers, 147 and 57, just like World Series. And again, Dave Roberts can get his 22nd postseason win to advance. So that's very interesting. This is it's a tight narrative here. Again, part of the thing about these two teams, look at this. Los Angeles Dodgers and our most pure cipher 73. Milwaukee Brewers 73. Milwaukee's got this 37 thing here. Los Angeles has the 37 thing. I guess we can look at the head-to-head for just see all time between teams playing each other right now. Milwaukee. Does this include the postseason? The only thing I don't know here is if this includes the postseason. I guess if I click on it, it'll... Oh, wait, I don't want that one. I want this one. Clicked on the wrong one. Does this include the postseason? It does not. Not sure if these teams have ever met in the playoffs before. Was that? I got to look that game up. Dodgers, Brewers, box score, August 2nd. Wow, that was the real score. I noticed the Brewers were kept at 63 wins. How many days was it from that game? 79 days. That's a big the uh the pitcher for the Brewers, he has this 79 name gematria. Pitcher equals 79. It's interesting that this game was 79 days ago. I got to see who started in this game. Big old blowout. Where is the pitching? Oh, and look at who pitched in that game. It was Jules. God, and this was 79 days ago. And he went 4.1 innings. So that's 13 outs, 4-1, like 41. Here he is on the 41 date numerology. Very interesting that this game was 79 days ago. I noticed that if the Dodgers won the World Series, Dave Roberts would have 26 wins, which is a big number. Again, games 26. Ball game is 26. Major League Baseball is 351, the 26 triangular number. Oh, it is tight here. This is a tight one. But this is important that this happened this many days ago. What a crazy score. 21-5. What else is in that score that I'm not seeing? Kershaw winning that game. The World Series, 82 days from Tom Brady's birthday. Let me come back out to the chat. I got to see what you guys are thinking. Yeah, Bud Selig, that's a good point. Seamus Kelly points out that November 4th is Pats versus Packers. So we have a Boston versus a Green Bay game, and this is the 114th World Series. That's a big one. Let's see. NFL scores November 4th, 2018. Just got to make sure. That's also a date with 53 numerology. Look at that. Something else. Something else. The Rams play the Saints that day. Yeah, that's a really good observation there. The World Series will end just before this game's played. The World Series won't go to November 4th. Let's look at Bud Selig. Bud Selig, July 30th. What? Amazon? How did that happen? July 30th, 2018 to today. 83 days. Football number. It's also 82 days after another football number. Vesica Pisces 82. No team had the 82. Oh, you know what? Milwaukee Brewers does have the 82 connection. Milwaukee Brewers has that 82 connection. The Los Angeles Dodgers won't because they have more S's. That's very interesting. Bud Selig's 82nd day of his age. He's 84 years old right now. 84. Massachusetts is 84. They'd go on to face the team from Massachusetts. So that's very interesting. All of these things are great observations. Making a lot of interesting connections here. Still, it's not the easiest call, but that November 4th thing with the Packers and Green Bay, that's a tough one to overlook right there. That is a tough one to overlook. But that Dodgers blowout 79 days before facing the same pitcher, that's also just got me going, 79 is the 22nd prime. Dave Roberts can pick up his 22nd postseason win. So, again, if they're laying traps for us, things for us to take as bait, like the Astros, because I mean, God, that Astros alignment, it was just out of this world. But baseball's beating me up this year. All right. While you guys are in the chat thinking about things, I'm just going to put all these notes in here so we can look back at this later. Where did that go? What? I guess the one thing about that score from August 2nd is that the Dodgers won with 21 points. That could indicate that Dave Roberts ends up at 21 postseason wins, one shy. Isn't it interesting that game was on 8-2 in light of looking at the 82 thing with Bud Selig and the Milwaukee Brewers? I mean, that's also interesting. Craig Counsell can get his 63rd win. The World Series is 63 days after his birthday. Yeah. Oh, wait. I got to go to today's game. It was Jules who got eradicated in that game. Like I always say, it's always easier to see how the games are scripted than to outright call who the winner is. Some games are really clear, but I don't know. Out of all the things we've looked at, I'd have to say that Packers Patriots November 4th game is weighing on me pretty heavy. I mean, but I'm also just thinking about how they set the trap with the Astros and their 11-4 win over the A's, one of three teams to win back-to-back. All right. Hope you guys are coming up with some good things in the chat. I'm just trying to let all this marinate in my mind and we write out the gematria game 7. There's another clue that we could have looked at. Game 7. We know a lot about 7. We've been talking about that today. Game 7. Does that give us a clue? Game 7's got the 37. Well, hey, I see it got the 44 like Wisconsin too. 91, the 13th triangular number. There's another thing that has me filling that 13 score. 37 like Los Angeles and Milwaukee, but 44 like Wisconsin. I don't see anything in the 7 for this game, but the game 7 I see. I'm take a peek at the chat in a moment. Just finishing these thoughts here, so we can go back and look at this. My thought is, you can learn from every week where you're right and wrong, types of things that tripped you up. And I've been doing this so long, I've just seen all sorts of things. So, you know, sometimes you think you found the most definitive clue, and then it doesn't go that way, and then you go, "Well, what in the world happened?" All right. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Bore you guys all to death there making all those posts. Oh, are you saying to check the name gematria of C League? I got the spelling of his name right. Bud C League. Alan Huber C League. Bud's the nickname. Okay. 73 thing go or 74 thing going with the nickname. He's got the 65 thing going, like game 7. 7's got that 65 thing. How long ago did Bud Selig give up the he's also got the 88 thing going. Remember how this season began on the 88th day of the year? I've been thinking that was all about the Dodgers, but maybe it's all about Bud Selig. I got to know when this guy sold the team. That was in 2005. So that was 13 years ago. And they sold it on January 13th. Huh. 13 years ago he sold them. Okay. Very interesting that his name's 88 in light of how big that number is this year. We talked about how it was 82 days after C League's birthday, also his 83rd day of his age. C League 83, football 83. Potential riddle with the NFL and the MLB and the Packers playing the Patriots on November 4th. These things are interesting. And you know what? In light of the Brett Kavanaugh beer talk, Brett Kavanaugh's also 83. Brett Kavanaugh, in his testimony, talked about how much he liked to drink beer, and he talked about taking his friends to the ball game. So, yeah, aloha. I hear your point about it being disinfo to throw us off. I mean, it's very possible. These are the things we're going to have to start paying attention to. Uh-oh. You guys have been adding a lot here. Whoops, unless I just got lost where we were. Hey, Marty, welcome to the chat, brother. Bud Selig owned the Pilots, huh? He went back that far? Supermont points out that Milwaukee Brewers equals 1140 in English Sumerian gematria. That's where you multiply the alphabetic order times 6. That's a good observation. Patriots, okay. Yeah, the fact that it's the Red Sox 118th season and Patriots equals 118, something I talked about a while back. That was something I was keeping an eye on. There's a connection there with Milwaukee too and Jewish, huh? Good work. The Bucks play the Celtics on 10/31. So we got another Milwaukee and 131 is another championship number. That's a good observation. Or 11-1. Well, which one is it? You got to make sure you write the right dates out here. No, so that's not the right date. You got to make sure you put out the right information. You can't misrepresent dates. November 1st. Okay, that's a lot different there. November 1st. I didn't know that Bud Selig owned the team when they were in Seattle. We've been talking about the Seattle Pilots riddle, though. You must have been gone. We're on that part. Yeah, that Packers versus Pats November 4th is important in light of this being the 114th World Series. All right, let's look at the MLB standings again. I don't know how to see the total standings, though, including the postseason, unless it has it up here. Boston had those real magical baseball numbers: 108 wins, Major League 108 double digits, 54 losses, baseball 54. Brewers went with 96 and 67, 92 and 71. Can I just see the postseason records? Postseason projections. That's not stats. Yeah, it's not the right thing. Have to go back through each game. Game is at 8:09 Eastern. Is it in the Eastern time zone though? It isn't what time is it in Milwaukee? I think it might be at 7:09. Yeah, so it's at 7:09 and remember that's interesting because it's 79 days from that blowout game that they just had. Again, and Jules is 79, who's on the mound, looking for a Game 7 hero. ESPN has him as the starter. He's been lights out in the playoffs. He got rocked, though, in that one game by the numbers. This game right here, the last game they played, 79 days before today's game. His name 79, pitcher 79, 79, the 22nd prime. Dave Roberts trying to get that 22nd win. What's it mean, though, that they won 21-5? That's the thing. Bud Selig 79 too? Did we overlook that? It sure is. That's a good catch. Bud Selig 79. Nice. Well, tomorrow, Dave thinks 71 is the hot number. Tomorrow's the day leaving 71 days left in the year. A lot of times there's a big link between college and NFL. What day was Yelich signed? Date Yelich signed. Brewers had Christian Yelich, Lorenzo McCain. January 26, 2018. See how many days ago that was. So it's a span of 268 days, 267 days earlier, 38 weeks in a day. Yeah, Jules could become 3-0 today on 10 plus 20, 30. Bud Selig push for the number 42 retirement across MLB. Okay. Somebody wrote 709. Is that an area code? What's the 709 area code? That's Canada? It must mean something else with 709. LA Dodgers won the World Series on 10-20-88 against the A's. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering if the Astros riddle with the A's was actually in tribute to the Dodgers. And the Dodgers going to back-to-back World Series. Oh, yeah, 7:09 start time. That's what you meant. Okay, got it. Dodgers versus Red Sox equals 179, the 41st prime. Marty's thinking LA. Yeah, you're welcome, Dave. 71's also the 20th prime number, Dave. 71 and 20. Relationship. When you write out 7 as a word in our most pure cipher, it's 20. So 71, 20. Those were numbers we were looking a lot in our decode. Dodgers versus Red Sox, 71. The only problem with that is there's no games tomorrow on the day, leaving 71 days left in the year. Aloha says this. The overall records don't make sense in gematria if the Brewers win. Here are the current records. Red Sox have 115 wins and 56 losses. This is including the postseason. Dodgers, 98 wins, 75 losses. Brewers, 102 wins, 70 losses. That I like the possibility of the Dodgers getting their 99th win because Brewers is 99 and it connects to 13, and that's a big number on today's date numerology and the runs scored in the series and LA. But God, after seeing what's made, I was starting to feel LA was going to win it, but then when you guys showed me how on November 4th the Packers and the Patriots play each other, and Tom Brady's cheering for that Brewers Boston World Series, it just got me going, oh. If the Dodgers didn't lose, they would stay at 75 losses on the season, and World Series has that gematria 57. Remember, World Series in our most pure cipher is 57, but when you take into account the S exceptions, it's 75. So that's a touchy one. Sports Gematria points out that the Brewers could pick up their 103rd win against LA 13. And then the other thing about 103 is it's the 27th prime number, right? MLB's 27, baseball's 27 when you take into account S's 10. So that's the thing about the 103rd win. Dodgers winning in 88 was 10,957. Well, what's 10,957? Dodgers winning in 88 was 10,957. I don't know what you mean by that. Yelich was signed on January 25th. You telling me this article's wrong? Oh, I see. It could have been written the day after. Oops, I need 2018. Thursday. Yeah, you're right. It was January 25th. So those numbers still don't jump out at me. I don't know what those numbers mean. Yeah. Oh, you know what's interesting is from that day to the start of the World Series is 271 days, which is the 58th prime number, big Freemasonry number. And see, as I recall, I don't think his name has any 58 connection. Oh, whoops, I got to type it right. That Christian Yelich is 82 too. Like Milwaukee Brewers, like 82 days after Bud Selig's birthday. More Manchurians out there. Aloha, if they got 76 losses, the thing about that number is in numerology, it breaks down to 13. So it could come back to a 13 thing, but our 75 is our stronger World Series number. Marty says he's saying the Dodgers win it all. The losers, Boston Strong, take the fall. Sheamus has the Brewers. Marty's got the Dodgers. This is a really tough call. I mean, Jonathan's thinking Brewers. Bud Selig officially stepped down on January 25th, the same day they got Yelich. That's very interesting. 125-18 was also a date with 44 numerology, Wisconsin. Okay, nobody comment in the chat right now. This is what you. Well, let's take a tally for people who are here. Put a 1 if you think it's the Brewers. Put a 2 if you think it's the Dodgers, and just vote one time. So don't write any more comments. Just write 1 for Brewers, 2 for Dodgers, and let's see. 1 Brewers, 2 Dodgers. One for Brewers, 2 for Dodgers. Don't post anything until I say other comments open. We just want a clear tally of everyone who's here. 1 for Brewers, 2 for Dodgers. See what the majority's thinking. 1 for the Brew Crew, 2 for the Dodgers. Any last votes? 1 for the Brewers, 2 for the Dodgers. Hey, Marty put a 1 in there. I thought you liked the Dodgers, Marty. 2 was for the Dodgers. Unless you changed your mind. Maybe you changed your mind. 1 for the Brewers, 2 for the Dodgers. All right, let me go through here and add this up. I see 7 votes for the Dodgers. I see a lot more for the Brewers. I'm not gonna count Marty's vote. I think Marty voted backwards because he's been saying Dodgers the whole time. There's 13 votes here for the Brewers, not counting Marty's vote. Brewer, the singular 71. All right, so we got 8 votes for the Dodgers and 13 for the Brewers. Yeah, but Marty voted for the wrong team. He meant to put a 2 because he liked the Dodgers and he put a 1 down. Hi, friend. Thanks for joining us. You guys, it's a really tight narrative. If in history's past, in years past, I would have said based on the fact that the Packers are playing the Patriots right at the conclusion of the World Series on November 4th, and live being the 114th World Series. Those are the types of things that used to be dead giveaways. But in recent years, we've seen some things that gave us big clues like this, and then it didn't turn out that way. And we've been asking ourselves, are they onto us? Are they laying things like this because we're looking for these kind of clues and they're trying to throw us off the course? Let's just go through everything again one more time, and then we'll wrap this up, and then you go with your gut because it is a tight narrative. The game's starting at 7:09 local time. That matters. We're going to come back to why 7:09 matters. The Dodgers are a slight favorite, even though they're on the road and the Brewers haven't lost at home. We got Walker Buehler, the young guy who hasn't been great in the playoffs, versus Jules, who's been lights out, but who also had his worst career game against the Dodgers 79 days before this game. The date numerology has connections to 41. LA equals 41. There's been 41 runs scored in this series coming into this game. 41's the 13th prime. LA's 41 and 13. JC, the pitcher for the Brewers, has 13 initials. J plus C's 10 plus 3, 13. He wears the number 45. When you write out 13, it equals 45. This is the 293rd day of the year, leaving 72 days remaining. The Brewers won the last game yesterday, 7-2. This game is 84 days after Walker Buehler's birthday. That's the pitcher for the Dodgers, or on his 85th day of his age. The winner of this game goes on to play Boston. Boston equals 85. Massachusetts equals 84. As we also discovered, Bud Selig is 84 years old right now. To his upcoming birthday is 281 days, which is the 60th prime number. His name Walker Buehler's 60. The game is 286 days, or a span of 287 after Jules' birthday, the Brewers pitcher. That's 41 weeks. Another 41 on the game. 41 date numerology. 41 runs scored in the series. For the managers, Dave Roberts, who once played for the Red Sox, this game's 142 days after his birthday, or a span of 143 days. Big Scottish Rite of Freemasonry number. Dave Roberts can get his 22nd postseason win. That matters because that's the Master Builder number. Master Builder's 57 and 147, just like World Series. He's 21 and 14 right now. That means this is going to be his 36th game. Dodgers is 36 forwards and backwards in our base ciphers. Brewers is 36 also in the base cipher. For the Brewers manager, this game's 60 days after his birthday, or on his 61st day of his age, which is the 18th prime number. Baseball equals 18. We're in 2018. Craig Counsell can become 6-3 or 5-4 in the postseason. Baseball equals 54. Major League equals 63. The World Series begins 63 days after his birthday. Dodgers could pick up their 99th win of the season. Brewers equals 19. 13 equals 19. Dodgers could advance to their 20th World Series on the 20th of the month. For the record, 20 also has numerology at 2. 2 plus 0 is 2. The Brewers could advance to their second World Series. The scoring thus far, 41 total runs combined. We added this up. LA scored 18 of them. Milwaukee scored 23. I'm expecting to score a 1-3 tonight. 45 total runs. I suspect the winning team wins 1-3. That's my guess. 1-3, another 13 tribute. 45 total runs, another 13, and Major League tribute. Could be totally wrong about that, but that's just what I'm guessing. This game is 82 days after Bud Selig's 84th birthday. Milwaukee Brewers 82. Christian Yelich 82. It's also the 83rd day. And what did we discover? We discovered something else about the name Selig or Bud Selig. Selig's 83. It's also his 83rd day of his age. And he used to own the Brewers. Who's the Dodgers owner? I don't even know. Who owns the Brewers now? Oh, it's just going to give us more stuff and clutter our minds. We can look at it if you want in a second, but let's just go through what we've already reviewed. So this is a real funny one right here. This is the 114th World Series. Tom Brady is cheering for a Red Sox and Brewers World Series. There was an article made about it. And how funny that the Wisconsin and the Boston area team plays on November 4th in the NFL in light of it being the 114th World Series. I mean, that one is just like, ugh. But I feel like that's just like the Astros type of bait too. That's what made me lock in on the Astros. And, you know, obviously I regret that. But when I made the call, I didn't feel bad about it. I mean, it was just a beautiful, perfectly scripted narrative that made a ton of sense. Now, with regards to this 82 thing, remember on August 2nd, hey, how many days are left in the year on August 2nd? That could be a clue. It was 151 days, which is the 36th triangular number, or the 36th prime, excuse me. Again, Dodgers 36 and Brewers 36. Dave Roberts' 36th game. So that's like a little clue there, maybe. But on this day, 8-2, the Dodgers wasted the Brewers 21-5. The Brewers were stuck at 63 wins. The Dodgers got their 61st win, the 18th prime, and here we are in 2018. Now remember, 26 runs, game equals 26, ball game 26, Major League Baseball 351, the 26th triangular. Notice the Dodgers had 18 hits in their 61st wins, 61 the 18th prime. I got to come back up here and look at how it was the alignment for the managers. This is the 61st day of Craig Counsell's age. That's the Brewers manager. So from that game to today is 79 days later. Jules is 79. Pitcher's 79. Somebody pointed out that Bud Selig is 79. Thing is, 79 is the 22nd prime number. And again, Dave Roberts can get his 22nd win. Let's look at our gematria at 22. We know how Master Builder connects to World Series. Game 7 also has this 91 gematria. That's the 13th triangular number. 37 like Los Angeles and Milwaukee. 44 like Wisconsin. And the game's in Wisconsin. So I guess just real quick, we can look up who the owners are of these teams. Owner of Dodgers. See if that gives us a little tip. Guggenheim Baseball Management. What is that? A group of investors. Well, we're not going to be able to get a birthday there. Guggenheim Baseball Management has this gematria of 117, the number connecting to 13, which is quite fitting for LA, the land of 13. Guggenheim Baseball Management. Who knew? Guggenheim. Guggenheim has this 60 thing like the pitcher on the mound for the Dodgers. All right, who's the Brewers owner now? It's not Bud Selig. Brewers owner. Mark Born September 29th. So the game's 22 days after his, or wait, it's on his 22nd day. 21 days. 21 days after or on his 22nd day. That also connects us to our World Series number. September 29th, the day leaving 93 days left in the year. He's born in 57, big World Series number. You know what? He has 114 birth numerology, this guy. 9 plus 29, 38, plus 19, 57, plus 57 more, 114. This guy's got 114 birth numerology. How about that? Got the 4491 thing going. I saw he also uses an L in his name. Somebody pointed out that the Red Sox can get their 223rd win against the Brewers. So, very interesting that this guy has the 114 birth numerology. That's something. Look at that. Hold on. What does it say right there? He purchased the Brewers from family and Major League Baseball Commissioner Bud Selig for an estimated $223 million. That's comical. That's comical. His name's 223. The Red Sox could get their 223rd win over the Brewers, winning the World Series. I got to tell you, that's a pretty juicy nugget there. Ryan Braun. Somebody just said Ryan Braun equals 114. Let's just check his birthday out. November 17th. $29 days or 28 days. The World Series starts 25 or a span of 26. Yeah, there's a Ryan Braun, 114. Well, we'll see what Ryan Braun does today. I'll tell you what, there's some juicy nuggets out there. The Hollywood feminists will pound the drunken brewers. Funny. Paul Monitor, Robin Yunt. I got to add this note about the Brewers owner having 114 birth numerology. And it being his 22nd today chance to enter the World Series. Well, if the Brewers advance to the World Series, we're going to have to start paying attention to owners a lot more in sports because this isn't the first time I've seen an owner perfectly synced up with the championship. This 114 birth numerology is something else. What I'm going to go do here in a second is go back and look at I'm going to look at what happened on September 29th. Or, no, excuse me, September 8th. That's the day leaving 114 days left in the year. I want to see what the Brewers did that day. If the World Series ends up being the Dodgers and the Brewers, count on the Dodgers winning because they would pick up their 223rd win against the Brewers, and this whole thing of the $223 million purchase price in his name. That's That's hard to overlook. I've been saying that if, well, or maybe I just misspoke. If the World Series ends up being the Red Sox and the Brewers, expect the Red Sox to win. We've been saying this possible narrative with the Red Sox and the Patriots for some time now. Okie dokie. I should look at this guy's name one more time. Do I still have it copied here? Oh, he's got 143 both ways. Look at that. Last name 143, both names 143. Scottish Rite, a Freemasonry number. Of course, Scottish Rite's also 57, like his year of birth. Something else. Jake says, seems like everything's lining up for the Brew Crew. Well, I wouldn't say everything, but there is quite a bit there. Bud Selig, the first Jewish owner in this connection with the Jewish calendar. Very good work, Jules. Great observations. Great observations. Well, you guys, it's almost the start of the game, so I say we wrap it up. I've been on the computer for nearly 5 straight hours. Actually, I've been on it for longer than that, but I mean just presenting for nearly 5 straight hours. So appreciate you guys all contributing and sharing. Made some good observations together. We'll sit back and see what happens. See if we get a 1-3 score. Well, I mean, all season. So, I mean, since before the season began in the National League, the teams I liked were the Dodgers or possibly the Nationals because it began on the 88th day of the year. In our decode that we just did, we discovered that Bud Selig's full name had gematria of 88. But I would say if I had to pick off this decode we all just did together based on the evidence I just saw here, and I didn't know anything else, I'd pick the Brewers. I think that more's lining up for the Brewers than the Dodgers. But I'm going to continue to ride with the Dodgers just because that's what I've been saying since the start of the season in the National League. So, the 88, it turns out, could be all about Bud Selig, though. And you guys just said Bud Selig's the first Jewish owner. Well, don't forget that that's a big number there, 88, with the Jewish folks. So maybe it wasn't about the Dodgers in the end. It was about the first Jewish owner, Bud Selig. And then it turned into also about Brett Kavanaugh's beers with this late season Jesuit order ritual. So remember the thing about the Supreme Court 57 in our most pure cipher, just like World Series. And in his testimony, he talked about how much he liked to drink beer, and he talked about going to the baseball games. So Hyon likes the score of 4-2 with the Brewers. You're very welcome, everybody, especially you, Jules. A lot of awesome contributions today. Great work, everyone. I'm really enjoying these group community discussions. We're going to continue to do them every Friday night, every Saturday afternoon. I know for you on the East Coast, it's getting into the evening time. Sorry, East Coast folks, our country's too big, but over here it's about 4:40, and I haven't eaten anything since about 7 a.m., so I'm going to go grab some food. Probably going to tune into the baseball game just to see what kind of mockery I can hear from the announcers. I love when they tell me what happens just before it happens and then act like it's a coincidence. Yeah, we might end up calling the MLB headquarters. I got to tell you, I won't be surprised either way who wins tonight. Our decode right now, it does suggest the Brewers, especially that whole November 4th game there with the Packers and Patriots. But can't rule out the Dodgers the way things have lined up with all the 13s this year, because 13 is a big number on this game. They got Manny Machado 13 days from his birthday. See what kind of game Machado has. All right, you guys, you have a great rest of your day. It's been enjoyable. Hope you appreciated it. Take a little break, and then I'll do the quick audio file with the NFL picks. All right, Truth Seekers, until next time.